So this movie was a lot of fun. Now, I've been excited for this movie for a while, ever since I found out that it was directed by Darren Aronofsky, who directed one of my favorite movies ever, The Whale, which I also did a previous episode on if you're interested. I haven't gotten around to seeing his others, but I'm definitely very excited to check those out. And something interesting that I found out about this movie when the credits roll is that it was actually written by the same guy who actually wrote the book to this movie, which I find pretty interesting. Usually you don't see that sort of thing in a major feature film. But anyways, back to the movie. Now overall, I really did enjoy this movie for a variety of reasons. Now, although this movie does feel as if it has a very similar concept and setup throughout the movie as a lot of other movies in its kind of genre, it does have the justification for these aspects to be in there, and it is done very well. Now, Austin Butler was pretty good in this movie, and him and his girlfriend have a very fun, watchable dynamic in this movie. All of the other actors were able to play their characters very well. I especially love the character writing in this movie, as it offers a lot of comedic writing to the nature of these characters. It's definitely exaggerated to an extent to a certain degree, but that does really work for the environment and story that they're telling. This movie's pacing was also very well done. The movie is only an hour and 47 minutes, and the pacing does a really great job of making it feel quick and immediate. It just has a great energy to it. There's never really a boring moment in this movie, and it gets to the meat of the film rather quickly. I also remembered a few good song choices throughout this movie, and they were definitely well appreciated. The violence presented throughout this movie is so incredibly brutal and well done. It does a really great job of showing the violent nature to this movie in scenes and characters. Something else that I really love about this movie was the fact that it was not afraid to let the consequences catch up with the main character. There are a lot of character deaths in this movie and aspects that suffer to the main character, and he's able to deal with them. It definitely brings a certain level of tension throughout the film, and it certainly makes you think where this is going. Something else that I really appreciate about this movie was the level of detail given to the character logic writing. The decisions that he makes in this movie are so well communicated, and you can totally understand why he would make those decisions, and there's always very reasonable circumstances that lead him to making these decisions in the first place. And I really want to commend that, because there are so many other movies that will glaze over these aspects and just kind of not think of them as really important, and sometimes you can get away with that, but it's really nice for a movie to put that much effort into it. Throughout the film, there's this reoccurring flashback sequence that happens to the main character, and at first I thought that was kind of cheesy, especially the way that's presented throughout the film. He basically wakes up whenever it gets to the traumatic part and basically goes on with the rest of his day, but it's really great because it offers a really great setup to a payoff that happens later in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but when it actually happened, I thought, okay, that was very well justified and very well done, and I'm glad that they included those flashback scenes to begin with. Now, if I had to criticize anything about this movie, it would be the sound mixing at the very beginning of the movie. The sound mixing is not great, and it is genuinely difficult to tell what characters are saying throughout that scene. It gets better around 10 minutes into the movie, but it is something I think people should be aware of. Now, overall, I really did enjoy this movie. It had some great fun energy to it, and it's not the biggest commitment in the world. I would definitely recommend that people go watch this because it is fun, and if you like this movie, then check out The Whale and other Darren Aronofsky movies. As for me, this one gets a very solid 6 out of 10.